Have you ever felt completely purposeless and wondered, why am I even here at all? If so, on any level, this message is for you. I'm going to tell you the one sentence made up of 9 beautiful and profound words that my father told me that actually changed my life and shifted my perspective, helping me to lead myself into a better, happier, and more at peace existence and life experience. I have such a deep gratitude for this, and it gently demands to be shared with those who also need to hear this verbal medicine. Aloha, I'm Jules, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Perhaps you are or were just like I once was, feeling lost, unsure, or confused about your own existence here on Earth. As you watch everyone else around you appear to seemingly have it all figured out, while inside of you, nothing you do to bide your time here gives you the feelings of meaningful satisfaction or fulfillment, as if you're aligned with your calling, or what is so prevalently referred to here as our life's purpose. And completely regardless of your earthly age, perhaps you feel pressure to figure it out, because the world doesn't discriminate when it comes to us feeling like we don't have it all figured out, like we don't know what we're doing here at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, well beyond even. Time and age is irrelevant, and society sure does manage to put it in our faces as if there's a clock on it to remind us to find our purpose, our dream, our true passion, or settle for less in the rat race of the matrix if we haven't been able to align with our passionate, meaningful, purposeful path. That actually feels like hell, and I've been there. I spent a lot of years there, actually. So if you feel that way too, regardless of your age, I get it. I get you. So please stay tuned, because this message is going to serve you. I'm going to tell you a beautiful, true story about 9 wonderful words that basically saved me. Words that completely changed my life, shifted my own perspective, and also the way I allowed myself to show up here every day. 9 words that allowed me to finally let go of the need and the chase in my mind to find a purpose, and allowed me to simply exist in a state of belonging here without even being close to having it all figured out. I only had a pla, not even a plan. A few years ago, I was having a breakdown in a dark night of the soul, and I just felt terribly lost, confused, alone, and of course, purposeless. I felt I had nothing going for me that actually mattered to me, that felt meaningful in my life and within my soul, that lifted my spirit to do most days like I was fulfilling something important, that gave me a sense of satisfaction and meaning within my existence here on Earth. I was constantly begging the question to God, why am I even here? And proclaiming that my existence felt like such a waste of time and energy. And that was really sad for me. Why the fuck am I even here? That question played on a loop in my mind, in my prayers, and even out loud, vocally spoken and expressed regularly. It was haunting, actually. At that time, I did so desperately want to start my YouTube channel, but at the very same time, I felt like I had nothing of genuine value to bring here. And I was in a preparation phase, acquiring the lessons I would bring with me to my channel at that time. But at that time, I didn't actually realize that I was in such a season. I just thought I was lost. And I felt like I was blocked. I couldn't figure it out. I wasn't letting go. I was searching for an answer and a purpose and a reason to matter and to be here on Earth at all. And if I'm being honest, I have personally struggled with my own earthly existence since childhood. I made it clear as a child that I wasn't happy to be here on Earth, and that sentiment lingered throughout a large part of my life because humans confuse me. And yes, I chose to come here, but once I got here, I kind of wanted to go back to where I came from. I've felt like an alien in my own mind, and I have felt like I didn't belong on this planet. I see it differently now. I didn't fit in, I now choose to stand out. The only dream I ever had for myself in the area of what I could personally achieve was to be on camera. From the moment I was able to form a cohesive thought process, I knew I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be on camera. I wanted to honestly become very well known for the sole purpose of being able to inspire the humans of this world to be better and kinder people, to make this world a far better place. And I was born ages before YouTube and well prior to the internet itself. So back then, it wasn't so easy to be seen or become known or an inspiring anything or anyone. It truly was the old-fashioned route. And sometimes that involved a casting couch, which I wasn't willing to sit on, ever. When I was 21 years old, that route I was cruising on came to an abrupt halt. I exited that path for reasons I'm not going to share right now, and I entered into my very first ever dark night of the soul. And this is a phase that lasted off and on for many years of my life. It came and went, but this specific darkness was all tied to a feeling of purposelessness and feeling completely without my dream, or any dream at all at that point. When your dream either dies or you let it go, a part of your soul goes with it, and mine certainly did. My dream didn't die, but I did let it go, and it haunted me for ages after that. I didn't recognize myself. This was actually the catalyst for my 60-day voluntary stint in a mental facility, which I have a lot to share about. That deeply personal story is coming soon, so please stay tuned if you're interested in that. The sacrifice of my dream, that loss, was my catalyst to 60 days because I felt so depressed and hopeless, so confused by my very own existence that I honestly just didn't want to be here anymore at all. I was dead inside, so it didn't really matter to me if my body was still breathing, if my heart was still beating. I was already gone. So I saved myself during those 60 days, and I actually got back to living a little bit again after that. But eventually the loss and the purposeless feeling crept back in, and I found myself over the years hating my jobs. I worked for my family's business, I was a freelance photographer, I worked at a hospital as a newborn photographer, and I worked for a custom clothing company. All of these occupations that occupied my time took up several years of my life, especially my family's business, which was okay because I love them a lot. But I'd float through my days with my inner monologue chiming in to let me know that I'm meant for far more on this planet, to which I would reply in my own mind, yes, but what? So this breakdown I was having a few years ago, I quit basically all my jobs, and it didn't really matter because the world was on lockdown anyway. I was ugly sobbing on the phone with my father as he consoled me, and through my still coherent sobs, I asked him, what am I even doing here? I don't belong here. I have no purpose. Why am I even here? And he replied with 9 words that changed my life and changed how I saw myself. And the reasons for me being here became clear and completely acceptable to me. My father told me, your purpose is to love and to be loved. I felt an immediate sense of peace and an inner knowing that he was right. He continued on with his sentiment to tell me, that's why you're here, Jules. It's as simple as that. You belong here to love and to be loved. So just do that and let it be enough for you for now and the rest will work itself out. You will find something to feel passionate about someday. And until then, your job is to love and to be loved. When I say everything changed after that, I mean it, literally. Everything changed within me and in my life. And I now recognize that this really is it, because God is love. So to love and to be love actually is a reflection of our Creator. And this act of loving both others, human, animal, and earth alike, as well as ourselves, is truly the ultimate form of wealth and abundance on this planet. I also realize and recognize that to love and to be loved is possibly a lot more difficult to do than it is in theory. Not everyone is open to love or to be loved. It's a challenge, one that I also understand and have been through myself. If you can find a way to let the walls down, to surrender to even the possibility of allowing yourself to love and to be loved through acts of kindness or generosity, through friendship, or even a simple smile, things will begin to shift for you in a powerful way. I know this because I've experienced it. I have lived it, and it has changed me for the very best. It helped me pull myself out of the depths of darkness and despair that so many still experience here in this earthly realm as part of our life's path and the lessons that we have to learn while we're here. After hearing this now legendary sentence spoken so eloquently by my father, I decided to leave the city I'd been miserably dwelling in for 7 long years. I put most of my worldly belongings into storage, other than what I'd need to make a bedroom for myself at my parents' house. And my cat and I moved back to the home I grew up in. I decided I wanted to travel, and I couldn't both pay an insane amount of rent to keep a place in Austin, Texas, while also traveling throughout the US. So a choice had to be made, and I made it. God told me to suck it up. Who cares what anyone thinks of me? To be that adult child who moves back home in order to have the life that I truly want and deserve, that will lead me to exactly where I need to be, where I'm meant to be. I had to leave a place that never felt like home, yet suffocated the life out of me on a daily basis. A place where my heart and soul never belonged, where I only stayed because it looked good on paper and my friends at the time lived there. I had to call my parents' house my home again as a full-grown adult who honestly still felt far more like a child than anything else. And then I had to make a way for myself to spend a large part of my time out in the world, outside of Texas. And for the past 6 years, I've traveled to 9 different states. I've still made an incredibly blessed life for myself, a life I feel so grateful for and satisfied living pretty much every day. I feel very blessed. And then my travels aligned me with someone who invited me to live on an island, where I finally surrendered to my calling to begin my YouTube journey. And I feel such a sense of meaning and purpose within my existence now. I know why I'm here, and I have the most clear vision of my path and my mission now. I have a refreshed level of confidence to be back on the camera, this time playing the role of my most authentic self. And the place I now call a home is an island that called to me, invited me in, and welcomed me with wide open arms. My life makes sense to me, and so does all the pain I went through. But I spent many years feeling like it didn't, feeling like my very existence was wasteful nonsense. I don't see it that way now. I see everything as leading me to where I am, and I'm grateful for that too. I give credit to the wonderful words my father spoke to me years ago. Your purpose is to love and to be loved. Accepting that stance and embracing that mantra freed me from the expectations I put on myself to find any meaning to my life at all outside of simply being. I let go. I surrendered to loving and to being loved, even if it wasn't easy. And I dove into the flow of a life that wanted to unfold without my control. And so I let it. I'd like to know about your experiences with feeling purposeless here. If you've been there, please feel so welcome to share in the comments. And if you found any value in this message or in these 9 life-changing words yourself, please let me know. I'm very grateful that you tuned into this special video message because this one actually means more to me than anything else I've shared so far on this channel. And I pray that it will inspire you to release yourself from any ways that you might feel purposeless here on earth and allow yourself to simply love and to be loved, because that is enough. Thank you so much for being here, and until next time, bye.